So glue and powder is going to end up on your plotter, regardless of whatever kind you have. Running stencil, you always get that. So stencil sticks really well to stencil. So a good way to clean the sprockets and the grit wheel is to use stencil. So you want to keep an eye on it and not let it build up. Regularly cleaning it is one of the most important things for the machine's proper function. So I don't have a lot of buildup to show, but you can take a piece of stencil and just lay it on your sprocket and press it down where you have glue buildup and peel it off. And it'll take a couple of times if you've let it go for a while, but it'll grab it. You can go in between the sprockets. You can take your fingernail and loosen it up and scrape it. Let's see if I have any spots. Nope. On these, same thing. Just press it down onto it, and it'll be a process. You'll have to dedicate some time to it. It'll pull it off. The sticky glue is what you want to get off, because as it sticks, it'll stick to the stencil that's trying to roll, and any amount of resistance that you have could affect the quality of your cut. We'll move carriage over, stick it through, press it down on the grit wheel, lift it up, sticky stuff. We can move, there we go. There's a spot. You can scrape it with your finger. You don't want to use a wire brush. Don't use a wire brush ever. This grit wheel is plasma coated and it will rust if you use a wire brush. You also don't want to use anything that could be considered corrosive or that has ammonia in it. Those would not be good either. When you let glue build up on your grit wheel really bad and it changes the diameter of the grit wheel, then you won't have consistent tracking. It could also, if it's sticky glue, it could tug on your material. I've seen it on the sprockets, tugging the material where you could hear the stencil peeling off of the sprockets as it was moving. And that's a sure way to get inconsistent V-lines, and that's the whole thing we want to try to avoid. These pinch wheels, when you move them, grab them from the back and the front. Don't just try to scoot them right here, because this part right here is a completely different piece from the back part. There's this piece and then this piece, and this one can break. So just make sure you're supporting it on the front and the back when you move it. You want to keep the main areas that need to be cleaned are the sprockets, the flat silver part right here, the cut strip, the grit wheel, the idlers, those little things. And if your machine ever starts squealing at you when the stencil is running, it's because the washer in this has wore down and it's showing bare metal right here.